I'm scanning the income section of my profit and loss detail report where all of my deposits have been coded. Here are some examples of things I might find. Let's say this first deposit was just me putting personal money into the business account. I open up my Add Edit sheet, I click on the Edited Transaction tab, and I put in the details directly from the reports. In this case, there was no name, so I can leave that blank. The only thing I want to change here is the account. I want to put personal. If you want to, you can put additional details, personal contribution. Up to you, you don't have to. In another example, going back to the financial statements, let's say the next deposit, I want to see more detail for this deposit, this $37,150. So I go to the Add Edit sheet. You can go down to the next section here, put in the transaction date, the amount, and then let's just say I want to add a customer name to this. The amount stays the same, so I don't need to put anything there. If I want to leave the account the same, I can, and then in additional details, I can put whatever I want. Job 1, 2, 3. All these fields down here, they're all optional. So anything you want edited or changed about your document, transactions, you put here. So in the same example, let's say there was more than one payment from a customer in this particular deposit. So the date and amount stays the same because that's directly from our financial reports. But here, let's say the deposit amount from customer ABC was $7,150. What you'll notice right here is that a message pops up. The amounts above do not match, and it's referring to the amount from your financial statement and the amount you put in here. So we're going to need to make sure that the totals down here match the total up there. We'll get to that in a second. So let's say we want to put this account, we want to call this consulting income instead of just income. So if you look at your financial statement again, you'll see this income account is just called income. But we can separate that out into different income accounts if we want. We'll have consulting income, and then here, we'll put the next customer name. Let's say it was $30,000 check, and you'll see the amounts above match. So these two equal this number. And let's say we want this account to be sales income, and then for job 456. So it's often that you might deposit more than one check into one deposit amount. So this one deposit amount in the bank is really split up this way. And so now we can show that detail if you'd like. The next example, let's go back to our financial statements. Let's say this next deposit here for $31,950 was not income, but instead a loan I received. So we go back to the Add Edit sheet, scroll down to the next box here, put in the transaction date and the amount. So let's say this is a loan received from Joe Smith. The amount, if the amount doesn't change, we don't have to put anything here. The account, we could put due to Joe Smith. If it's a loan that we have to pay them. And then you could put new loan, business line of credit. This is an optional details if you want to add that in. So this shows that you now have a loan from Joe Smith. And again, the reason we want to indicate this is because we don't want it to show up here in income because it's not income. It's a loan that you'll pay back eventually. In the final example, we're going to take this $55.65 and pretend that it was a reimbursement to us. So it's not going to be income, it's a reimbursement. Go back to our Add Edit sheet, scroll down to the next box, put in the transaction date, which was 1/15, the amount. And if it was a reimbursement, there's different kinds of reimbursements. If it's a reimbursement for a personal expense, and you put it in, and you deposited the reimbursement, you probably should have deposited into your personal account if it was a reimbursement for a personal expense. But if you put it in your business account, you can simply just type account personal. And then if you want to add a memo so you remember in the future what it was for, reimbursement for personal expense paid. However, it might, let's just say it was a reimbursement for a business expense that you paid. So you can put in, it could look like this. Let's change the details. Let's say the person that is paying you back, his name is Dave Cross. The amount stays the same. The account, let's say it was some office supplies that you wrote off. So you can write office supplies and equipment is the account, and then reimbursement for business expense paid. So if the expense originally showed up on your business accounts and you're getting reimbursed for that, then we can put it back against the account that it came out of, for instance. So these are just some different examples of how to split up the deposits.